This episode is brought to you by Amazon. The holidays are here, and you know what that means? It's time to get your friends and family the gifts they deserve. Take the stress out of shopping with Amazon's great deals and low prices on a huge range of items from toys to tech and much more. Whoever you're gifting for, Amazon has great prices on everything you need this holiday season. Shop Black Friday week starting November 21st.
Hey folks, Christian Swain here, CEO of Pantheon Media, where fans belong. And starting now, Pantheon is where fans invest. You now have the opportunity to own a piece of Pantheon. Equity crowdfunding raises capital from many small investors in exchange for equity shares. We're working in partnership with Start Engine. They're an equity crowdfunding platform registered with and overseen by the SEC. To start, we want to express our gratitude to our amazing fans. As a token of our appreciation, you, our loyal listeners, are first in line for an exclusive opportunity to invest early and grab a piece of the Pantheon action, along with special bonus discounts and perks for joining us at the beginning of this exciting journey. Simply put, rather than donate, like you would with, say, GoFundMe, you're actually purchasing shares of the network. You'll be shareholders, co-owners, right along with us. Together, we've built a vibrant fan community. It started with music, and now we're engaging sports fans too, in a big way. Please consider taking this next step with us to collectively grow and benefit from Pantheon's future success. Go to startengine.com/Pantheon Media to find out more. Again, startengine.com/Pantheon Media. Invest in your passion, invest in your community, consider investing in Pantheon.
Burn again, burn again, burn again. ABCs.
Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every single Bare Naked Lady song from 7 to Y. And now we have gotten past most of the songs, so we're going to actually start discussing the Canadian laws, one ordinance at a time. I think it's good to probably start in Toronto. It makes sense to go with the Toronto bylaws first.
Well, if you're really from Toronto, you don't say the second T. So Toronto.
Toronto. I'm a Maina. I say Toronto.
Maina. Yes, Bob.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. Oh, wait, no. We still have a couple more songs left to cover. We should probably do that. We should finish that up before we start discussing the Canadian bylaws.
Well, thank you.
Oh, okay.
For tonight, why don't we discuss the song bylaw?
Oh, that's
okay.
Yeah, see, we must be tired because we're just not. We're not picking up what you're putting down, Tracy.
And not smelling what you're stepping in.
I had to pick it back up, put it down again, and then nope, still it's sitting there on the ground like a
yeah. We're just not having it. We're just not having it.
I had to write down something before I forgot it, so that's probably my lapse of response.
I know when I was
lapse
in
of luxury.
School, we had for all of grade school, we had Sally as a bus driver, and then Sally decided to.
I thought she was more of a rider,
and that was a sad moment for us. So we picked up Beverly, and she was a little bit more strict. So we always had a saying like, "Uh-oh, it's Beverly's big book of bus driving bylaws." But she was always cracking down. That's for everything.
Was Beverly a heavy smoker? I just picture her as maybe.
No, I don't think she was.
No.
No.
Some of those bus drivers, man, that's not an easy gig.
No.
You're one person responsible for whatever 50 kids.
That is true.
In a large moving vehicle, and God help you if a fight breaks up between a couple eight-year-olds or whatever. But
think about this: in one foul swoop, she could help out society by eliminating crap heads.
Just going in a river somewhere. Oh no!
No, that's a great idea.
I didn't say it. You did.
I know a lot of bus drivers think that. Can drive right off this bridge right now.
All I'd have to do is
Wow. ... Things got
Yeah,
serious.
it's that kind of day.
I know, right?
Not cumulus.
Oh wow!
Well, we'll be talking about different cloud structures in a little bit.
My God.
Oh, okay, cool.
But for now, we should just start discussing.
We don't have a breakdown.
Yeah,
Do we have a
Aaron,
breakdown?
can you give us a breakdown?
I think I'm having a breakdown, and maybe the bus is having a breakdown. But we have no one here to officially break it down. I think you can wing it, right?
We don't have anyone that can officially do it, but I actually looked up the notes on Chordify.
What?
Yep. Cool.
And on Chordify, it says that this is in the key of D at 125 beats per minute. It is at 4/4 time, which is interesting because it has a very tropical feel, so I would have thought that it was in some kind of other kind of
like bossa nova or something. I don't know if that's right.
That's what I was thinking, but no, it's actually 4/4. So it shocked me a little bit. We have for the beginning of the song, it goes from D to B minor to E minor to A, and then kind of repeats that a lot and bounces around. There are some times that they move into E minor 7. So we're getting some off chords. We get a couple of G's in there. But yeah, a lot of repeats. Looking at these chords, though, one of the things that I will say is that he is playing around with how often he's jumping around these chords. So it's not a consistent chord change that we're seeing throughout this. Like, it's not like, okay, we're going to hit 4 beats and then we're going to change and then we're going to go 2 beats. He will be changing chords quite often throughout this song. And I think it's kind of neat. Like, he's having, like, I think Aaron would be all over this song, and
I know.
he'd probably be actually pretty frustrated by this song with how many chord changes there are. I counted like 50 chord changes.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane. Leave it to Kevin.
So, yeah, tons and tons of chord changes all over the place, and like some A sharps in here, some A sharp minors. Like, he is just like, we have an F sharp minor, an E minor. Like, he is hitting all kinds of really weird chords in this song. So poor Aaron didn't get to do the proper breakdown on this song.
I bet he's crying over it. Yeah.
Yeah. That trip to the West Coast. Yeah, I'm sure he's so sad that he's missing right now.
Yeah, I know.
In terms of the music, first I should say that this is a Detour De Force song. And it is a Kevin song. And if you have not heard this song before, here is a quick snippet.
There's a bylaw, and I can start work at 7. There's a bylaw, and it's time to wake up Kevin.
Although it's really hard to give a snippet of this song because it changes so much.
It is hard to give unless you'd have to just snippet the chorus, I guess.
Yeah. That's the best I can go with. In terms of the music, we have the return of the Arkells. We have Ernesto Barahoma on the trombone. We have Tom Moffat and Michael Ray on the trumpets. We have Hugh Marsh on the violin. That name probably sounds familiar to you, Betsy.
Yes. Sure does.
And then
that's funny you say that. Okay, I'll bring that back later. I'll bring that back later.
I figured that you might. I had a feeling that might come up.
That was not actually intentional, because what I've sent you had humor.
I know.
I'm wondering. I am willing to wager up to $100 that I am right on something at the end of this song. Okay, keep going.
And then finally, we have Michael Colvin adding in some singing at the end of this song. Michael Colvin is a famous classical and opera tenor. He is an Irish-Canadian singer that has, the amount of classical and opera that he has done and recorded and done on stage is immense. I cannot give this man enough credit for his voice.
It is him. Okay, I'm right. Yay! I didn't see credits for the song other than Kevin, so maybe I was just looking at the wrong place.
Yeah,
or not on the back of the album.
In order to find it, you have to go to the very back, and I don't know if I can get this to show up on camera.
I can't remember which one I have.
But if you look on the back flap of the insert, then you see underneath all the instruments that are listed, they break down each and every song, which people added extra stuff into the song. And that's where I found all of that in there.
I'll be damned.
Huh. Well, this song really struck me as like an elevator music kind of song.
But that's Kevin. Kevin likes to do
the tempo of it, maybe. Yeah.
I was really thinking about it. I'm like, why? Bare Naked Ladies is really still producing albums, and I had to think about it. I'm like, well, they're getting up there in age, and they really don't have any other skill sets, so they have to do this. They have to be writing songs. They have to be producing stuff, so that they can maintain a lifestyle that we're living.
I don't know. Ed Robertson might be able to be a professional pinball player.
Yeah. Kevin has enough side jobs that he's always doing.
Oh, he keeps busy, that boy. Holy cow.
He does not need to write for Bare Naked Ladies or tour with Bare Naked Ladies.
Busy.
Yeah, because he is always doing something. Granted, it almost always music related, but he is always doing something.
I'm just looking at the back of the album.
One of the things that I did want to say is the amount of the horns on this song are just gorgeous.
There's a bylaw, and I can start work at 7. There's a bylaw, it's time to wake up Kevin.
And
brass-tastic.
They really do a great job with just emphasizing.
Agreed.
I never have a problem with the instrumental aspect of Bare Naked Ladies. I think they're always solid on the music side of things. That's my take. Anyways.
But like you said, Stefan, like there is a definite almost a bossa nova type feel, that elevator music type feel to this song. Yes, Betsy, you said it too. Like, it's not bossa nova, it's not the right rhythm and stuff like that, but there is...
Yeah, it's not. I can't remember the other
There's
type.
like a bunch of them. I looked them up online today, and I was listening to them, and was like, nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not right.
No.
Oh, I like it, though. It's something you could have in the background and not really pay much attention to.
It's definitely like an amuse-bouche on this album.
Nice.
Because it's a very different feel than everything else that's on here.
I know. Is it me, or does this belong on Snack Time? You know what I mean? Because there's some songs on Snack Time, they're like, what? And then, like, this one, it's really soothing, put the kids to nap. And then, and he's talking about bylaws. Okay.
Kids are always talking about bylaws. Kids need to know.
Let me teach you about 13 subsection A.
It's like the Capitol Hill. I'm a bill on Capitol Hill. Or whatever that one was. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just a bill up on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, where's Monica?
Oh, that's good. You got me there.
Nice
buddy.
one. Nice one.
You're good.
I
I can't believe that's a nice
get
album.
what you're kind of saying,
My
though, Stefan,
album?
because
Yeah.
this doesn't feel. This is one of the problems I have with this album. Is Detour De Force doesn't feel like a album where they are a complete band, a cohesive band, I think is the word I'm looking for, where they have a sound. It feels almost like we have the four gentlemen writing songs and then them playing on each other's songs, but they're separate and distinct and not really Bare Naked Ladies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of like cobbled together a bunch of side songs.
It's a mosaic.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like, Ed's got his country-ish type stuff on this album with a little bit of rock, like we have with Flip and Good Life and New Disaster. And then we got our folksy kind of oddball type music with Kevin, where he likes to go out into like left field and come up with some weird stuff. And then we got Jim that likes to do his jazz-inspired type stuff.
Do you think they did that intentionally? Do they think just like said, okay, let's split up and work on our own stuff and come together, and then it'll be fresher or something?
I don't think they
and then
did.
just get input.
Because the whole point of this was Ed called them up one day and said, "Yeah, we're gonna do another album. We got 13 days."
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it was crunch time.
So I think that it was crunch time. It was like Beatles Abbey Road type stuff of like, we have this set number of time. Each of us brings our stuff in, and there we go. And so it doesn't have the cohesive feel of like, let's each of us like add something to each song so it has a B&L feel rather than three separate people independent work feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe they're thinking, okay, we're getting up there in age. This is our paycheck. Let's try to appeal to as many people as possible, so that we can sell this album. Maybe. I don't know.
think so. I think it's less
just-
thought out than that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that they ever really think that way specifically,
I don't
or
think
at least I hope not. But who knows? I mean, I've been thrown these last couple albums, especially the last album about how completely different things are compared to even post-page stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's anybody's guess at this point what they're gonna put out next. Like they could just do like Sounds of the Railway or something like, and then be like, yeah, I guess. I mean, at this point.
I mean, that sounds like something that totally Kevin Hearn would do.
Yeah, and Ed probably. And Tyler's just this chameleon and this mimic, so sure. And then Jim's so chill.
Jim's
Be
like
yeah.
on for the ride.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Jim's down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a ton more to say about the music. So I guess we could talk about the song itself and the point of the song.
Well, I'd say from what he's talking about from this first part of it, he's very disgruntled about getting up at 7.
Well,
Being woken up by
And that's
a rude awakening.
a typical artist, isn't it? Come on.
He's like, I work late nights.
Kevin actually said in his behind-the-scenes video about this song, he tends to work late at night. Like, that's when he does his
Yeah.
work. And so 7 a.m. is extremely early for him on the other side.
Oh, well. Yeah, you wouldn't like it where I live.
That's sleeping in to me, unfortunately.
Yeah, your life is the almost exact, like where you live is almost the same.
I'm usually up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We've got boats firing up at 3 here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bylaw saying the boats can run at 3 a.m.
Yeah, they don't care about your bylaws.
That's not even warning. That only gets by on a technicality. Yeah.
Yep. Those who are listening, I live on the coast, a little fishing village.
He's gone coastal.
I've gone coastal, yes.
You've always
Which
been
is
coastal.
kind of fun because I work for the Postal Service too, so
Postal coastal.
I'm a little bit of
What's your new
both.
email address?
Kevin said that the song is basically inspired by actual events. Or an actual event. He didn't say the rest of it was inspired by actual events, but I'm guessing it has to be.
He had that 30-second clip that he talked about, people chucking stuff in a dumpster at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
so
his neighbor.
there might have been a little poetic license on it, but
Seems quite straightforward for me.
he didn't verify like the whole 7-Eleven thing was real or not. But,
Right.
Yeah.
And
And who would give Kevin Hearn a ticket? Come on. That's so mean for a roll and stop. So that has to be fake. That has to be fake.
To be honest with you, I would not be able to recognize him. If I met the band, I would have no idea who he was.
But he's such a nice guy. That is a thing. He is such a nice guy. And then when you heard him talk, you'd be like, "Oh, you're just this sweet man.
Such a nice guy."
You can. Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry, officer. I
sweet.
didn't mean to speed. I thought that I was driving safely when I pulled over to the side like that and was going so slowly
I need
around
a
the
Slurpee.
corner.
Are you guys giving
I know.
accurate impersonation? Does he really like that?
That's better than I could do.
Gosh.
I'd say you're at least halfway there.
Here's my problem with the second verse. Failure to stop at a stoplight or failure to stop at an intersection is not a bylaw.
Yeah, that's a straight up law.
So a bylaw is
Yeah.
a city ordinance.
Oh. Okay.
Traffic
Is it?
laws
Oh, okay.
are usually set by state and providence. So it is not a bylaw.
And it's not a Canadian
Nope.
thing where they just jumble them all together.
No,
Okay.
it's
Just trying to look for loopholes.
he definitely pushed that one in there. That was not quite. No one obviously probably knew, but it's not a bylaw.
Yeah, so
I wish instead that he had done the pun of bylaw during this verse, like splitting the word up and be like, you can't.
yeah, he does it a bunch of times, but not there.
No, I would have liked it if he had been like, and I can't do that by law or something like that. Like,
Yeah, no, he didn't split it up for the 7-Eleven.
Oh, I was thinking a different type of buy.
in the United States, you can't get married.
I was trying to think of a joke that goes along with it, but
Yes, we have they can't have their
Utah
own set of rules,
that's ridiculous.
yeah. More agreements.
That's ridiculous.
There's a bylaw in Utah that you can only get married to two women if you're a man.
No, that's something different.
Yeah.
That's very strictly enforced, huh? Poor guys.
I wouldn't mind moving to Utah.
You say that.
No, I wouldn't be able to keep up with them. It'd be,
Yeah.
I would-
It's one of those things you're like, oh man, I could eat that whole pie, and then you're just like, oh, I overestimated what I got into here.
oh, no, I can eat quite a bit of pie.
Anyway, moving on.
I think it's
my
pretty.
fault. I left that door open.
You sure did.
Just walked through.
Yep.
So
Put my foot in it. All right.
Don't kink shame.
that's not what you're supposed to do.
Oh,
I mean, I guess you could.
well, it depends on the pie, I guess.
Don't kink shame, right. My profuse apologies.
What did you guys think of the syncopation of the 7-Eleven piece?
Syncopation.
I liked it. It was syncopating like you wouldn't believe. It's nice. I liked it. I'm sure it bothered you. So if I like, that's generally how it goes. If I like the mixing up of things, then you're not gonna like it. 7 times out of 10.
Stefan, what about you? Did you like that part?
It was all right. It's all right. I was trying to make heads or tails of the whole thing. I was like, I mean, I like the music, and then he's like starts talking like it's like bylaws. I'm like, what?
Oh,
What kind of
that
song
makes
is this?
sense.
I looked up the title of the song, and I'm like, oh, it's Bylaw. Like, this is. They come up with the weirdest damn stuff. I was like, but, yeah, it was all right. It was pretty good. I mean, the song is. I love the instrumental part of everything, but I think the lyrics themselves were very snack time-ish. So I think that.
I like the 7-Eleven syncopation in the middle there. It was a
You do.
yeah. It was a nice.
Well, I'm happy to be wrong.
It was a nice break in the middle of this song to something a little bit different to give us a little bit of a different flavor, and then we're back on to the original.
Much like stopping at a 7-Eleven, you get a refreshing break.
I haven't been to a 7-Eleven.
Unless you eat like the hot dogs on the rollers,
Those-
that's not refreshing. But like a carbonated beverage or a Slurpee would be a refreshing break.
I haven't
7-Eleven, come on the show. We know you listen.
I haven't been to a 7-Eleven since I was like 11 years old.
Well, it's not like it's an age restriction. Like it's not only for ages 7 to 11. Is that what you're thinking? No.
No, they closed down the 7-Eleven near
50 years ago.
my house at
That's
that
a
time.
long time, Tracy.
A joke. Yeah. I probably haven't been to one in over a
I
decade.
didn't know they still exist.
But I like Cumbies.
So, yeah, I get my gas at Cumbie.
Cumberland Farms. Come to the show. We know you listen.
Let's talk a little bit about the third verse, though, because that is the one that doesn't follow the pattern.
The last time I cried, there was a mackerel sky, and it wasn't so long ago. The last time we spoke, I was telling a joke, and you didn't laugh at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a different creature.
Is it the same as the first?
It's a little bit louder and a whole lot worse. Riding my little red wagon. All right, go ahead.
Well, so what does the third verse mean?
Well, I think we need a therapist for that, Tracy.
I know, right?
Do you happen to know of a therapist?
Well, first he mentions a mackerel sky,
Okay.
which
Yeah, that's pretty.
Stefan,
Yep.
It's not like a fish in the sky.
knowing that you come from the community that you do you know the rumor of what a mackerel sky
What it
stands
stands
for?
for.
The mackerel community.
Well, I mean, it has to do with the muddled skin color of the side of the mackerel and how it applies to the coloration of the sky. That's basically.
Are you talking about the red sky at night, sailor's delight, red sky at
No, I'm
morning,
not.
sailors take wing?
No. So a mackerel sky actually refers to a bunch of cirrocumulus clouds in the sky that looks like a bunch of dots that go across the sky like scales on the back of a fish.
It's a mackerel.
And the old saying is mackerel
I don't know
sky,
about this.
not 24 hours dry. Meaning that within the next 24 hours, if you see a mackerel sky, it is going to rain. Usually more than rain. Usually it was a sign that there's a cyclone or some kind of big weather front on the way.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one. So unless it starts, like the chance of mackerel.
Me neither.
And it's interesting
Raining
because he
fish.
lines that up on the same line that he says the last time he cried, there was a mackerel sky.
Okay.
That wasn't
So the
long ago.
metaphorical tears, the metaphorical, rain mixed with mackerel sky, I thought was an interesting thing for him to do.
Unless he was so upset by getting woken up at 7 a.m. he was crying.
Well, that was one of the things that I said was, I wonder if this song is a 24 hours, a day in the life for Kevin. Because is this like one of his really bad days? We have the first paragraph was when he was woken up. The second verse is like on his way to a concert, then this bad thing happens. Third verse is he tries to tell people about this thing that happens, and his friend doesn't even laugh at it, and he's crying. I don't know if that's because he got the ticket or what. Maybe he's emotional because he got woken up so early.
I think it's because he's an artist, and they do things differently than most normal people. And then they're like, they're so off and out of touch with normalcy that things start happening, and then they're like, "Why me? This is horrible." No, it's just because you're not paying attention. There's a stop sign there. Stop for it. All right. Most normal people are up at 7, taking out the trash. Get used to it. This is life.
11.
Okay. It's like, stop crying about everything that's normal around you.
Now, see, that's another opportunity he missed. He could have thrown something in there about how normally he sleeps till 11. And then we have the 7-11 in the first verse, 7-11 in the second verse.
That's right.
That was one of the other things that I noticed is that he mentions 7 in both verses. He does not mention it in the third verse. Is that the joke that he was talking about that no one laughed at? Is it the 7-8-9 joke? No one laughed at his 7-8-9 joke on Snack Time.
I'm really sad about that.
God, that's
9 was really nice.
I had a really dark read on this song though.
Oh boy!
Oh, here we go.
I wonder if this song is an ode to someone that he lost to cancer.
What? How do you get that?
Because the third verse, he says, "The last time I cried, there was a mackerel sky."
Yeah.
And you didn't. And then he talks about how he told his friend a joke, and the person didn't laugh at all.
It's probably because the person was normal. He's an artist.
Normal's overrated anyway.
And I'm wondering if he saw them in his dream, which is why they didn't laugh, because it was in his dream. And then the end of the song is him waking up after having this dream.
Right, so he gets woken up early, then he gets pulled over by a cop by the 7-Eleven, and then he goes to sleep.
And then he goes to sleep, and he has this dream of his friend that he lost a long time ago, or lost recently, and talking to that person is why he's crying, and tells the joke, but the person doesn't laugh at the joke.
I think it's a stretch, Tracy. We get what you're putting down, but I think it's a...
I'm trying to make the third verse fit somehow, because the third verse doesn't make any sense with the rest of the song. And we do have, at the very end of the song, this outro about all of a sudden it's a beautiful day, and it's a very different feel from the rest of the song. It's almost like Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky type feel, where he's going with it.
There's a soft summer wind. There are birds in the trees. There's a clear blue sky and a bright shining sun. It's a beautiful day in this wonderful world.
I don't know. I feel like he's trying to say something with that tone change.
Maybe he's just starting to try to start the next day on the right foot or something. I don't know.
I don't think he likes waking up, man. I just don't think he likes waking up.
Because then at the end we have Michael Colvin coming in and singing.
Yeah.
With
so why'd they bring him
him
on the song?
I know. How did it just happen by the studio, or they're hanging out and be like, "Hey, do you want to sing the last 2 verses of my song with me and back me up?"
I don't know, but I think that you found the
be?
closest links between these two things.
Yeah.
Do you want to share the things that
I just
you
thought
found?
that voice sounded really familiar at the end, so I cranked it up. I'm like, that's the guy from Snack Time, but which one? And I remembered that he was kind of like an opera singer, so I just kind of marked the time and sent it to you about the whole how he likes pizza. He was singing pizza in an opera voice. And then I went on the Instagram, I think, and found like a thing that he and Kevin and Hugh Marsh did for like a little Halloween-y kind of tune / mini play, like where Kevin's in a hunchback costume and it's like a creepy graveyard background kind of thing. So there's Marnie.
Yeah, so you sent me this. This is from when they did Snack Time for the Selfie Cam Jam. Not on the original Snack Time, but for the Selfie Cam Jam during during the pandemic. He had this national well-known opera star give this response in the middle when they're talking about all their favorite snacks.
There's no bylaws. I'm playing videos, right? I believe in you.
Snack? Is it chocolate chip cookie?
I'm Marty McBean, and our favorite snack is popcorn.
I'm Michael Colvin, and my favorite snack is pizza.
I'm Chris Hadfield, and my...
There it is.
I'm like, I know that voice.
And then you sent me this other one on Instagram, as you mentioned.
It was really cute, yeah.
Uncle Vernon, Uncle Vernon,
right.
Independent as a hog on ice. He's a big shot down there at the slaughterhouse, plays accordion for Mr. Weiss. Uncle Biltmore and Uncle William made $1 million during World War II. But the tightwads and the cheapskates, and they'll never give a dime to you.
I will not play the whole thing because it is actually rather long, and they wrote that, or they didn't write that. They recorded that for the album that Hugh and Kevin did of all their 80s music. And that's, I think, how they pulled Michael Colvin in, because they asked him to do this arrangement of the Cemetery Polka by Tom Waits and record that for that album. Also during the pandemic, at which point I think he was also like, oh, okay, well, also come on and do Snack Time. And then he was, this album came out just after the pandemic. And I think he's like, you know what would sound really good in the middle of this would be Michael Colvin coming in. Because Ed says during his section of the behind this music, he's like, yeah, we played this really, really long outro, and all of us were thinking, we really probably should cut this, Kevin. Like, that's a long outro that we really don't need.
And Kevin's like, hold my Molson.
But Kevin had a plan for it, and it was amazing. And so that was all post work that was done by Kevin.
Yay. Good job, Kevin.
I do want to mention...
He's so amazing. What a great guy.
Yeah.
Kevin, we know you don't listen.
We're almost done. Hurry up.
Come on the
I do want to mention one more thing before we have to get off here real quick. And then come back into the same room.
Crazy.
Kevin is playing around with the rhyme scheme, not just the music and the chords and the occasion and of
Don't
the
get off
chords.
yet.
He's playing with a rhyme scheme in this song as well. During the first verse, his rhymes are A. So the end of every line is the rhyme.
No way.
In the second verse, he rhymes BBCC. So it's the end of it. The first two are rhymed at the end. The second two are rhymed at the end. And then the last verse, he starts rhyming in the middle of the line, and he goes DDF EEF. So he changes up his whole rhyme scheme throughout the whole song. There's no consistency.
I love that, though.
Whoa.
He is not going by any musical
Oh,
laws.
nice,
Amazing.
nice, Betsy. That was...
They rhyme.
golf clap on that one. That was good.
Pulitzer
All right,
material
I'm going
right
to kick
here.
us out, and we'll be back for the ratings. In the meantime, while we're going out, please take a moment to listen to this ad. I'm going to have to start making the password for this room into something really obscene and absurd each time, just to see Stefan like put it up there as his name.
I don't put it in there; it just comes up. But
It just comes up.
Well, speaking of just coming up,
so Betsy was talking about what Oklahoma hand grenades, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. It's one of my other passions, side projects.
something about cowboy breakfast.
Yes.
Oklahoma hand grenades. What the fuck is that? Don't look it up.
You'll have to look it up,
No.
won't you?
Well,
nope. I'm just gonna purge that out of my memory.
Yeah, you
I'll.
gotta get with what the kids are
Oh
talking
God,
about now.
it's probably poop or something. Anyway,
well, Betsy, and Stefan, what do you think that we should give this for a ranking? Should we go with bylaws?
Oh, it's rank, all right.
oh, traffic
ranking.
tickets, bylaws.
How about how many 7-Elevens?
Yeah,
Ooh,
how many stop
7-Elevens,
signs?
I like that.
Michael Colvin's.
How many mackerel skies? How many mackerels?
How many pizzas? Whatever. Yeah, mackerel's good.
Mackerel skies? How many mackerel skies? Because that could be positive or negative.
It's true.
It's pretty.
How many mackerel skies do you give this song? Okay. Betsy, how about you? How many...
As opposed to a vanilla sky.
It wasn't that with Tom Cruise?
I wouldn't
Mackerel
mix
sky?
a vanilla sky with a mackerel
No.
sky
No.
in the same dish.
Ah.
You could finish with a vanilla sky
Oh, is
and have the
that the Urban
mackerel
Dictionary?
sky
Yeah,
as
I'm
the
looking that one up.
Blech.
Vanilla sky.
Gee, I wonder what that is. Don't do
A
it.
vanilla pudding sky.
Don't look up.
Oh! What's this, a vanilla sky?
That's a
Gotta
vanilla
edit that
sky.
out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
no
it
kidding.
seriously?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you wouldn't make that up because
Like I would just come
What's
up with
the one that
that.
you said,
it
Betsy?
just came to you. Yeah.
Oh.
What was the one that you said, Betsy?
Huh?
What was the one that you said
Toaster
before?
strudel?
Toaster strudel. Look that up, G.
It's kind of what you think it is.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah, let's okay. I did not need to thank you, Stefan.
What? What, toaster
I will
strudel?
tell you later.
Just
What? No, this is great.
swap the
You're on
mediums.
recordings right now.
Do you want me to tell them? I can try to tell it in a tasteful way.
Sure.
Taste.
Don't go with tasteful.
When if the girl is a part and the guy the
Gotcha.
okay, gotcha.
Nice.
Hey, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Compared to what I usually do.
Now, were you talking about the regular
know.
toaster strudel or the Polish toaster strudel? Because that's a little different.
I didn't know there was a difference. I'm talking American.
Yeah, the Polish toaster strudel is if it's if it's the
I really don't know that this is staying in the podcast, but either way, it's entertaining.
yeah. So that's not
How many
going in.
toaster
I'm
strudels?
cutting all of that. Stuff our listeners
After
don't
dark,
need to
After
hear.
dark, after dark.
It's all getting
Way to go,
bleeped out.
Bill. Way to go. Look what you
Oh my
started.
god.
Guys, don't look that
what
up,
you made
please,
us
for your
do.
own sanity.
Sanity. Yeah. Nightmare inclined
Definitely.
people.
Oh, I don't want to know the
Anyway.
nightmares I'm going to have tonight.
Definitely watch Unfrosted if you can.
Unfrosted, yes.
It's so good. It's so good. It really is
prefer
good.
it unfrosted.
It's ridiculous. So ridiculous. It's great.
Okay,
You
how many
nasty.
mackerel skies do you give this song, Betsy?
Well,
Uh-oh.
let's see.
Here we
I
go.
love the instrumentation and the way he mixes up like the tempos. And I love that he brought in Hugh Marsh and Michael Colvin. Hey, that's always a good time.
Hey.
Nice harms as usual, and although not a ton of harmonies, he kind of mostly. It was mostly just Kevin until the very end, but. And yeah, whatever that bossa nova, but then I put like bossa nova Scotia in my notes. So whatever that style is, I like it. And I guess that creative license he took with, going to the 7-Eleven. Plot-wise, story-wise, I agree with you, Tracy. It's not quite all there for me, or I'm missing something, very likely. But either way, it's a very enjoyable listen. I didn't mind listening to it multiple times, and so I guess I would give it a 4.2. Oh, Jesus, Stefan.
4.2, that's great.
Mackerel Skies. Yeah, that's your... Yeah, I gotta go to you now, Stefan.
I'm going to say, so now we're going to the Haterade.
Getting yourself some... Yay! Oh, you do have it. Good. Yay.
4 point something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be drinking the Haterade tonight. Let's hear it from Stefan.
I love BNL's music. If they just played music without lyrics or words or anything or anybody singing,
Zach,
it'd be great. I mean, I think they're fantastic at it. Maybe that's their calling. Going to Muzak, elevator music. Maybe be backup singers or instruments for another band or something. I don't know, but the instrumentation in the song is just so smooth and it's so relaxing. I do stick by my belief that this should be on snack time, because this, I think, is a great song for kids, because it settled me down so easy. It's great. Is it like, oh my gosh, this is a banging song, this is fantastic? I don't think I finished the whole song. So I don't even know the guy that came in.
If you didn't finish the whole song, you missed out.
Did I?
Oh my gosh, hold on. No, you can't miss out on the end of this song. Hold on.
Oh, yes.
It changes. Hold on. I'm going to share the screen.
Are you? Sounds like a personal issue. That was nice.
What do you think the last word they're saying is? Is it like H-O-H?
I think it's just ah.
It's just okay. Because it didn't have a word for it in the...
No.
Well, if they're talking about bylaws, then they must be talking about an HOA. They're a local HOA.
That's a big
Talk
thing,
about bylaws.
Now, you made it all fit together. Thank you.
You cohered us.
Oh, it's amazing. They pulled it together for the last 10 seconds of the song. So it doesn't change my point of view at all. It's still music is really good. That was a nice little part at the very end. It was great. So I think I'm going to go with a 2.75.
Okay. That is not your lowest average score.
No, it isn't. It's not bad. But I mean, the lyrics, as soon as start singing about bylaws, who sings about that stuff? And then puts beautiful music behind it. It's like, putting a bow on dog poop. You know what I mean? Sorry, but come on.
Oh,
Tracy?
Stefan. Well,
sorry,
I can say without a doubt that I am not the hater this week. I don't love this song, but I do.
Bring me on next week, then. You won't be again.
It's fun. It has a different rhythm and sound more than most BNL songs. It's very intriguing and relaxing, but also at the same time weirdly upbeat. He's constantly changing things throughout the song, so it doesn't ever get boring. And when I'm trying really hard right now to figure out where this belongs, and I think it is a little bit better than Toe to Toe, and not quite as good as All in Good Time. So I'm going to give this a 3.74.
Ooh.
4.
Make me the hater. Make me the hater. I can take it. But up at 7, okay?
But I think I'm gonna take this out back. I think this is a song that I don't mind this weekend. I've got to go out. I've got to vacuum up my pool, get all the scum out.
Uh-oh.
And this is a song that I think I would listen
electrocuted
to
like that.
while I'm doing that.
In your
I have to go rake the lawn as well. You know, that big backyard that I've got.
The big backyard.
Yeah.
I've always admired your big backyard, Tracy.
I was about to say something similar. I'm like, have you looked in the mirror at your big backyard?
People often talk about my big backyard. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
This is where squirrels hide their nuts.
Got some nicely manicured.
Even Kevin sings about my big backyard.
I know. He likes big backyards and he cannot lie.
He does. Yep, you can see it from space.
I guess next week we should talk about Kevin's discussion of big backyard.
Yeah. Down.
Okay. So this song was Ed's. This one? And then Kevin...
No, Kevin was
doing the
this
next
week
song?
as well. Yeah.
Oh, Kevin was this week as well. Okay.
You may have a similar reaction to next week. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm losing track of who's who.
The fog of podcasts.
No, there's Jim, there's Ed, and there's Steve.
Well, and
Why do
Kevin.
you keep forgetting Kevin, man? What do you have against Kevin?
Who's Kevin?
Who's Kevin?
Kevin.
We've only been talking about him all night.
Yeah, kinda, technically.
Isn't he the new guy? Isn't he the new guy that's changing the sound of BNL and making sure that they're not selling anything?
Good night!
Damn.
Have a great night. Thank you. That was fun.